Welcome back to all the crackers in the box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey. Oh, look at this beautiful thing. You can't even see the whole thing right now. So, I am most of the way through this third one. This one I've been picking up for about 5-10 minutes at a day, here and there, throughout the week, because it's been living behind my pillow on my bed. So, while the girls are relaxing and getting ready for bed, I will throw in a few minutes of work while they're getting ready or reading or whatever they're doing. I'm using my 5.5 millimeter hook, and I'm using some Dollarama yarn. Let's see, the next one is going to be black. So it looks like this. It's a Jumbo Giant Multi-Yarn by Knit It. And they go for about $4.50. They have 380 meters. So every ball is 380 meters of kind of cushy, fairly soft. And the colors are pretty darn nice. I don't mind them. So I don't mind this yarn at all. It's been easy to work up. And this pattern is simple. And it's just going like nothing. So I feel like this one's going to be one of the things I put in my done pile soon, because my done pile is so small for this year. Simply because some of my projects have been super big, and I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff in my own brain because I don't remember what I made. Because I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about how nice this yarn is to play with. Anyways, glad you're here today, and let's crochet a blanket. It's sweater weather out there. Is it sweater weather for you? Because there's definitely sweater weather here. I've been wearing big plushy, oversized warmness whenever I go anywhere. Gotta go to the Dollarama in a little bit. And I should probably maybe grab one more black, because I feel like after I get through the 6, I may want to do one more black just to tie the middle to the outside, is what I'm thinking, because I will end on a blue if I keep going on the pattern that I'm going on, and I don't think I'm gonna like that much. So I may have to grab one while I'm out and just make it a little bit bigger than I was intending, which, you know, if I have to, then that's what I gotta do to have it be pleasing to my eye. So far I don't have too many ends to weave in, which is fabulous. I planned for that. I have tied all the yarns together, so when I go through, they are already attached to each other, buried in, and part of the whole tapestry of the blanket to make it into something cozy. Pretty colors that match in our house in a lot of ways, because they represent, like, pretty much everybody in the house has some variation of these colors. It's just, it works. It really, really works, the three different types of cakes here. Same but different, just different colors. I was considering putting in like a couple random cakes I have kicking around, but they were thicker. The colors don't have the same like vibe, where these are sort of a darker feeling yarn. They have a certain sheen to them, and the other ones I was looking at definitely did not fit in. They don't have that same shine. They have more of a matted look. It's like putting a gloss paint with a matted paint. You can definitely tell that there's an extremely big difference between the two, and I didn't want to do that, so disappointment, because I haven't found a project for that one yet. And I have been waiting a long time few years now for that one to finally make sense. But it's not a full skein, so that's part of the problem. It is a partial skein, and I'm not sure where to fit it in. I'll find something. I know I will. I may actually just use it for the other chair I gotta cover. So who knows? I might make a giant granny instead of a bunch of grannies to do that one. Just make them two different chairs. Who knows? Who knows? I think of things all the time. I'm also considering maybe covering one of my body pillows, because I had to sew one up last weekend and I restuffed it and now it's like bursting almost, and I need to make a nice cover for it. So that way it will be a little bit less likely to fall apart, but it'll fall apart. I know it will. Once your material starts disintegrating, that means you need to replace it. And that is the way of the walk, I guess. Oh, gotten into the darker blues now. Look at that. I really like that color combo. And I am really not bothered by this at all. The color changing just feels wild and natural to the yarn. So I feel like I'm just making this yarn part of my family. We take the good and the bad and try to work together. But these are just a lovely granny square, just going around and around, and this is such a relaxing one. The corners are just 4 corners. With the Hexie cardigan I'm making, there's 6, so I have to do the corners quite often and keep track of that somewhat, like in my brain, knowing that it's coming up, that kind of thing, just not to just fly over it. It will completely ruin the shape of the sweater if I do that. And I'm not willing to do that, but for this one, it is just super easy. Very fast. I feel like I'm flying through these. And I know I'm not going as fast as some people do, but I feel like I'm flying through these skeins pretty darn fast. These cakes are going fast, fast, fast. There we go. Yep, the 2 blues here, the greeny blue and the navier blue that looks a little closer to black, are pretty darn nice together. I like it. So now I'm seeing the end and how it looks. Do I really am I going to need to put the black in? I kind of feel like I might. I don't know. The rose look good though. It feels really cozy. I feel like this is like a cozy blanket for cooler weather, and I think it's just going to be lovely. And it's going to be very well appreciated throughout my household. I think everyone's going to have a turn with it, because that's usually how it goes. Two and 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull through, pull through. Go around the top, pull through the 2 loops, 2 loops. One more time, and through 2 loops. So you get your little clusters, and I'm not chaining one between them. I thought about it. I tried it. I did not like how much further apart they were. This is just perfect. Any more than that, and I felt it was too wide and wide open, made these holes here much larger. And that is not what I wanted. The girls wanted a granny. They requested granny. This is why I'm doing yet another granny thing, because this is what they wanted. I tried looking at other ones, maybe a shell, maybe a virus shell, maybe the virus granny, and they were just not having it. They just wanted a simple granny blanket for the living room. So who am I to tell them no when this is what they've asked for? That's right. And we are just flowing on through. Can't go wrong with these beautiful stitches. Simple, but the look is very cottagey, very, like, I feel like I would find this blanket in somebody's cottage by the lake where the family all meets and you play cards and there's coffee and probably some whiskey too, and everybody has a really home-based feel. I feel like this is a home blanket. This is not something I would sell. This is not something I would just like make for everybody. This feels like something that's going to be part of my home for sure, and I'm really excited about it. I have been working on this one quite a bit more than some of my other ones that I should be working on, just because I kind of am loving how it's just flowing. It's just so easy compared to some of my finer ones, which it takes a lot of extra work to see this much growth, where this is quite big. It's already too big for me to be taking places. I don't want to put it in a bag and try to carry it around just to add a little bit more, but I do want to keep working on it. So I had a movie on, just went off on it and just kept going and going and going, which is exactly what I need in my off time. Because my little bit of off time, I just really feel overwhelmed and stressed, and I need something to take that away. That isn't self-destructive, like smoking or drinking alcohol or anything like that. I find for myself, those are very self-destructive habits, and I don't do well with things like that. So I'm not going to go down that road. I'm going to pick up a hook and some yarn, let it run through my fingers, feeling soft and cozy, making me feel comfort, thinking of cuddles and snuggles and blankets and pillows and clouds. And I always think of clouds when I think of blankets and pillows, but that's just because I was a Care Bear kid and I always wanted to have a nap in Care-a-Lot underneath the pillow, so I'd always pretend my pillows and blankets were actually clouds. So that just explains why that makes sense in my brain, and that is how I look at things. At night, I always imagine laying in Care-a-Lot. I still do it. As a grown woman, I still imagine laying in a cloud, covered up in a cloud, with a cloud pillow, and just feeling like I'm floating and just loving my life. Now, if you were to put me in a waterbed, I am absolutely afraid. I do not like waterbeds. I feel they are very disruptive to my sleep because, if anyone is in there, whole bed sloshes over. I had so many dreams about drowning whenever I slept on a waterbed, so water's not quite the same as a cloud in my little world, but I definitely would sleep on a cloud, so I feel like this one is going to not be a cloud, but more of a rusticy, homey, just feels like grandma's blanket, that kind of thing. Like, I feel like it's a cabin deal, one of those, and I like that in my house. My house is very much bits and pieces of all of us. I do not have a set theme anywhere. I have pieces I like to put together. Like, I have some beautiful Asian art, usually the dragons. I love the luck dragons and whatnot. I think they're so pretty, and I love the details on them and their faces with their beards and every single little scale. I love them. So I have a couple items that go with them, and I keep those in the dining room. I have sushi cats for the kitchen. The living room is a lot of kid stuff. Our living room is definitely a play area for the whole family. We have Care Bears, the girls' toys, my son's stuff. We have my husband's Ninja Turtle stuff. Like, it's just a bunch of things that make us all happy. And that is what I'm going for. I want us to be comfortable. I want us to be enjoying our space. I mean, we spend so much money to live here. I really want it to feel safe. Safe and how we like it. I have my living room set up in a weird way, but that's okay, and we love it. It works for our family, and we have room for what we need, and how we use our space is not the same as everybody else, which is fine. Everyone has their own preferences and what they enjoy, and how they are comfortable in their own home. I just can't. For years, I was thinking I needed to look like my house was a magazine, and I could never, ever, ever do it. I dream of it, but I could never actually make it a reality. One, I don't have the furniture. Two, I don't have the items. And to get all that, to get on the page of looking like a magazine, I will never be able to afford it, and I wouldn't be able to maintain it, and I don't want it, to be honest. I used to. But the more I think about it, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel like this is our space. This is our place. This is our area. There isn't places for everyone to feel comfortable. Yeah, I just have changed my tune on that kind of thing. I like clean, but I don't need spotless. I like toys to be put away, but I don't mind a little bit of kid clutter. Like this table has a couple dolls and some coloring apparatuses because they were playing there. And they're not on the floor. They're not in a giant pile of doom that you step on or hurt yourself with. They're sitting on a table they use for art, so they can stay there. That's fine. I'm not going to make that into the end of the world. Eventually the kids' stuff will go away. We won't have the same kind of messes, and it will feel lonely, and I'm just going to enjoy the chaos for now, while I'm in the thick of it, because I do know that it goes fast, and before you know it, we'll be like worrying about our fashions, all the time fashions, and it's already starting. My middle daughter is starting to worry about hair and nails. She would like me to paint her nails this weekend because she wants to try out some of my new nail polish. Don't blame her. Don't blame her. Fun colors. Absolutely. Anyhow, we are ripping through these cakes. This blanket is looking amazing. And I want to thank you for joining me here today at All the Crackers in the Box. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.